Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is DigiDriver, and you are on twitch.tv/DigiDriver if you are watching this. Otherwise, you might be catching it some of the way. Maybe in the future, I might even upload some of these to YouTube on my other channel, but we'll get to that when we get to that point. In the meantime, welcome to Philadelphia International Airport. You are looking at an American Airlines 787 with downtown Philadelphia in the background. Obviously, it is not the middle of the night right now, even though I am recording it at that time. We're going to take a flight down from SunSkyJet Philadelphia to Cielosim Jacksonville International Airport scenery. This is the first time I've done streaming in quite a while, and as you can tell, my computer is not the ideal computer for this, but you know what? I just don't care. I use a Surface Pro 3, which actually has been very versatile, and I like the fact that I can take my computer pretty much anywhere I want to go. So this will hopefully be a pretty cool experience. I am set to go because I think I have the flight plan laid down. Limitation is that because this is not one of the more expensive like PMDG planes or more expensive models, I don't have a fully functional FMC. Even though the computer, the flight management computer in here works, it works only, I think, off of FSX standard flight plans. So not really going to be using this. I'm going to be using this in conjunction with the Navigraph moving charts that I have on a separate device. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to make sure Veto Heat is on. Turn off everything else. Turn the panel lights on. And yeah, I think I'll just turn the anti-collision and logo lights on and get ready to go because we are in a spot that's too small for the plane, and it's not going to anyway. I tried it and won't enable my GSX services. That might change when we get down to Jacksonville, though. So let's go ahead and take care of business as is. I think we're pretty much ready to go, except to turn on the fuel. Oh, and fair warning, my mouse button is a bit clicky, so I might activate and deactivate stuff real quickly. You might see that, like it just happened. So, fuel pumps are set. Let me make sure I set the altitude because we are flying the Philadelphia to departure to Woodstown, which I believe is Oscar Delta. That's the VOR. Set my airspeed. And tonight we are flying on FS Cloud. So if you're on FS Cloud, check me out. My name is DigiDriver. Okay, so let's make sure flight director is on, auto throttle is on. We are set for GPS mode right now, and let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and push back. Push back with a tilt to make the tail go to the left. We'll be exiting via taxiway exit 8, and then basically down Kilo to 27 right because the last time I checked the weather, winds were calm at Philadelphia. Doing a shift P push back tonight because, again, I didn't have the opportunity to use GSX ground services at the gate because the plane was just too big, but pretend you didn't hear me say that. So we're pushing back, and this thing is a bit of a porker. Let's go ahead and stop it where we are. To the parking brakes. And since we got the engines ready to go, let's go ahead and turn on engine number 2 first. And one is rising. 2 is stabilized, and I start engine number 1. There we go, those beautiful GE engines spooling up. Okay, and fair word of warning, I am not a professional by any means, not even a professional flight simmer. I enjoy flight simming, and I'm definitely what you might call an enthusiast, but there's a long way that I have to go to get to any kind of steady level proficiency, so I'm just going to have fun, which is why I'm on FS Cloud right now and on VATSIM. And I don't know, hopefully you guys might join me, or I might come across a few guys on the way. But in the meantime, looks like engines are stable. Got flaps set for takeoff. We're going to be using 27 right. So let's go ahead and taxi out to the taxiway. Let's see. Okay. Hold short point here. And this place is pretty quiet, so we're just going to go ahead and continue. My apologies in advance for the bad frame rate, but this will get better once we get out. And texture loading is slow, but there we go. Actually, taxiway entrance number 7 instead of 8, but we will taxi to runway 27 right via Kilo. Keep an eye on my speed. Taxi lights are on. And yeah, once again, we are at SunSkyJet Philadelphia. Pretty impressive freeware scenery as far as I can tell. I haven't seen a place this detailed in a long time. So I'm pleased, even though it's probably pushing some serious pixel power out of my computer. I do what I do to get by. I've owned my Surface Pro for quite a few years, and I discovered, funnily enough, that one of the ways you can get more out of the tablet is simply by keeping it cool, which is why I run a desk fan. Just that. Okay. I am coming up on a runway crossing. I believe this is runway 19er and 35. So I see nobody. Yeah, pretty much. It's coming in. Light day today. Like I said, it takes a while for the textures to catch up. But we're doing. Well, all the way to the end of Kilo. This is a 787, and I wanna use as much runway as we need to get out. But should be set for takeoff roll. And I'll make sure to give us a nice respectable 2,000 feet per climb rate as we get up. Okay, meantime, let's go ahead and get the landing lights on. Let's hold short right here. Absolutely no becoming whatsoever. Check my FS Cloud map. Yep. FS Cloud's looking nice and empty for this airport, so we should be ready to go. And a quick sanity check means absolute no is coming down that end of the airport, so we should be set. Let's go ahead and get ready for takeoff. So, takeoff lights are on, and flaps are set, and climb altitude is set, and GPS is set, so we should be able to go once we get in the air. Let's go. I like taking family trips and flying on airliners, and usually I find myself in a passenger seat listening to like a 737 or like an A320 or something, and usually the Boeings that I fly on have the Rolls-Royce engines, and they sound great when you blast off, but I'm beginning to appreciate the GE engines on this American Airlines 787, and really push them. They sound wonderful. So today's flight is going to be American Airlines Flight 652 with service to Jacksonville, and we're all set to go. So I'll see you upstairs in a few moments. Anybody watching this right now? No, normally I would not be on the runway this long. Okay, way above stable check, but still stable. Absolutely flooring the throttle. Speed is most definitely alive. 80 knots. E1. Rotate. Right, positive rate, gear up. Set the autopilot. Let's maintain current heading. And flaps up. Beautiful exit to Philadelphia. As the textures load back in. There we go. Alright, let's get set to go to Woodstown. Where are we right now? Climbing slowly. Let's go ahead and clear ourselves up the rest of the way. Today's flight will take us up to flight level 380. Some speed, so I will lower the ascent rate. That's interesting. Yeah, that's okay. Just say we got the circle tour. There we go. And Mrs. DigiDriver saying hello as well. Yep. At DigiDriver Airways, when we make a turn, you get the whole turn experience. But hey, if that is the absolute worst thing that happens as a result, I'm happy. Let's see, up to 6,000 now. And making the turn. I think I'm gonna go direct. Oh no, wait, we're gonna turn around. Good. Okay. Problem solved. And even with the 2,200 feet per minute climb rate, we are actually increasing airspeed, which is great. These two big honking GE engines can definitely dole it out. There we go. Alright, let's settle things down for a little bit. Make sure everything's cleaned up. Laps are fully up. We are flying a American Airlines 787. We're in the clouds right now, so it's pea soup out there, but we are on our way out of the Philadelphia, South Jersey area. And less than 10 nautical miles from this town. So I will scroll up. Tibby. Pro subscription. I get AirAC updates on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, and I also get to use moving map software, so I don't have to use anything else. It doesn't work like some of the other trackers out there that actually track your landing rate, but I use FS Cloud for that. So we are doing okay, and I think I'm close enough to go direct Tebby at this point, so let's go ahead and do that. Go. Okay, we are past 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn lights out. And crank the speed up. That's it, 350 for now. After teaming, we'll go direct Hado. Yep, this is how we kick it for cheap, people. Okay, it's pretty much a straight line to Hado, so let's go direct there now. I'm going to adjust sounds just to make sure that I'm not blaring too much. That should hopefully do it. That's much better. Looks like we broke through cloud layer. We are at almost at cloud cover, and whoops, looks like somebody forgot to set the barometric pressure, but that's okay. We're at 180, so that resets to 299.2 anyway. Just to try to remember to get that set before I land at Jacksonville. Looks like we're already at the speed and just a bit over the speed on for its altitude. 18 nautical miles to Hado. Yeah, so I think this 787 uses the same virtual cockpit as I think the default 737 and FSX, but listen, if it's free, it's for me, and I didn't pay 1 penny for this plane, so just the sounds alone make it worthwhile. Of course, I do have some add-ons besides the SunSkyJet Philadelphia scenery. I have Rex texture direct for soft clouds, and I use Orbx Wide Airports HD for airports that do not have add-ons installed. And so far it's worked out pretty good. This thing is an utter beast. And 11 nautical miles to Hado. past flight level 220. Let's go ahead and pitch down for speed. And get some more speed up in there. Go to 20 knots for now. Okay, almost 5 knots out. Let's go ahead and get set for the next waypoint, which at this point would be Salisbury. Going direct Sierra Bravo Yankee, Salisbury VOR. Execute that. If you're catching my stream live or if you're watching the replay, thank you very much for coming along. Once again, my name is DigiDriver and I've been a flight simulator enthusiast for quite some time. Ever since I got started with, I think, simulators like Sublogic Jet and Chuck Yeager's Flight Trainer. I eventually got my hands on a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think it was like version 2. And the rest is history. And to make things cool, when I do flights these days, what I'll tend to do is I'll actually set up a flight, fly from, like, say, Minneapolis to Jacksonville. I usually tend to do like 2 to 3 hour flights, and when I take off, I'll get to a point where I climb and set up, and then eventually I'll be at cruising altitude. So when I get to cruising altitude, I lean over from my wife, I say, "Hey, we've reached cruising altitude. Would you like me to get you any snacks?" So set the airplane on autopilot, grab some snacks from the galley, bring it back up, make Mrs. DigiDriver happy, and engage people, because I like to engage people with my hobby. There are not that many people around me physically that actually talk about it, but the flight simulator community is big and very welcoming. I know we tend to have our passionate debates about stuff like P3D versus X-Plane and what mods we're using or what settings we're using. I think the biggest debate is like settings or not trying to do. But at the end of the day, I've really enjoyed playing with Flight Sim, and I'll tell you what happened at one point. Really crossed over into like a renaissance, I feel, when Flight Simulator 98 came out, and 3D graphics worth. So once I hit that point, I think there was like officially no going back. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming along for the live stream. This is my first live stream in quite some time. So, hey, listen, I'm a human being. I'm making plenty of goof-ups. Welcome your comments and criticisms to improve the craft. There are a few things that we'll be able to fix, though. We'll be able to fix my PC per se until I build my own rig. And there's a possibility I might actually do that come next year, depending on how much it costs. But with that said, like I said before, my Surface Pro 3, even though it's slow, even though it chugs, has been serving me pretty well. Okay, we've just crossed flight level 300, and we're on our way to flight level 380 for the flight. We are approximately 35 nautical miles away from the Salisbury VOR, and as textures load, you'll be able to see the beautiful airplane we're flying today, the American Airlines Boeing 787. This thing is an utter beast. I've really begun enjoying flying this thing on a regular basis, and the sound pack that it comes with ain't that bad either. It's just large and in charge, beautiful piece of machinery. I can't even imagine the grins the pilots have piloting this thing. Yeah. This is where we are, somewhere above 32,000 feet. Just milking the climb rate out of this thing. Considering I'm not even in Maryland yet, maybe I should pitch down to speed, what do you think? Maybe I will. So, let's take the acceleration down to maybe 1,000 feet per minute. Wait for the textures to reload. I'll check the GPS, actually, probably good. I'll just see we're 25 nautical miles away from Salisbury. And yeah, we're kicking it. We're 3.8 on the indicator, and GPS says ground speed is 384 knots. That will most likely increase significantly later. So I hear that the Flight Simulator Convention, or FSXWX, is going to be in Orlando come next year. I had in mind to go to Las Vegas to check out the FSXWX there, but we changed our plans and decided to go somewhere else. We actually got to spend some time down at Disney World, and Mrs. Digidriver and I enjoyed ourselves, even though the weather was hot. We got a chance to actually stay on the premises and go to some of the theme parks and just generally enjoy ourselves. Had a good time. This year might be a different story. We might actually go to FSXWX, and we might actually go to Disney anyway, but everything's up in the air, and I'm not really worried about it right now. Just trying to take it one step at a time, and what we have. I hope everyone watching this is having a great Christmas season, and that your holidays are only going to get better from here. I've learned quite a few things from this year, and I hope to take those lessons into 2019. Right now, as I speak, I am at the controls of a beautiful piece of freeware aircraft, a 787. I think this is a 787-900, available online. I usually go to flyawaysimulation.com to get most of my aircraft downloads, but this one did not come from there, or at least I forget if it did. However, if you go to flyawaysimulation.com to download aircraft, you probably won't be disappointed if you're looking for freeware. They've got a lot of civil aircraft, a lot of airliners, some business jets. There are, I think, some Embraers that you might want to get your hands on if you like regional flights, short hops. I did a video with a old school American Airlines livery Embraer. I think it was like 145, so an E145, and hey, it definitely got the job done. Okay, we're coming up on Salisbury. Let's get to the next waypoint. Salisbury. From there, we're going to go to Catsup. Kilo Alpha Tango Zulu member. Okay, so direct fix in our systems. So we're going to navigate to it using heading, and the map that I have on my phone, I use Navigraph charts. Let's see, let's go ahead and set heading to 229, I think. Hopefully I don't crash. There we go, thank you. Set heading. Set it to 229. got such power. So Jay, what? Let's take it up to right around 500 knots, which should be, I think, the absolute max speed. Seen anybody around me lately, but take a look at this view. My word. Yeah, it's beautiful out there. When the clouds don't pop out. But texture limitations that I'm basically pushing this thing limit right now. It seems to be okay with it. So, not gonna do too much to push it. There's the sun anyway. Ah, it's right there. Okay, so I am probably about 4 nautical miles off the mark to the left of the track for J79 airway. Let's turn in 15 to 244. This texture's loaded. We'll be able to see where we're going. That's okay though. I guess that's what they call it, IFR. There we go. We're about to cross Chesapeake Bay. We wouldn't know that because the cloud cover is basically almost totally obscuring it. But doing alright. Got a few airspace areas we're crossing over as we cross over the Chesapeake Bay. One of them is airspace R4006. Upper limit is basically flight level 250, basically because we're at flight level 380. We can basically just waltz through here, no problem. Let's go ahead and set up. Start turning in a bit. Let's turn back in to 9 at this point. Just checking to make sure you hear me. Looks like you do. At least that's the hope anyway. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of ambient sounds from the game, which isn't a bad thing. And then I can go direct to Cofield, which is Charlie Victor India. That's another VOR. see him, we'll just in case you came in late to the stream or you're watching the replay at this point, I wanted to say thank you for coming aboard. This is DigiDriver. We are flying from Philadelphia International Airport to Jacksonville in the American Airlines 787. This is a freeware aircraft that you can get online. I've gone to places like flyawaysimulation.com to get the plane. And if you see this plane moving very slowly, it is because I am flying on my tablet. I do not have a dedicated gaming rig, but simulation as of yet. However, the textures will come shortly, and when they do, I hope that you like what you see. But we do what we can. There we go. It's a 787. I believe this is a 787-900 model, and the flight dynamics may not be like 150% accurate. It may not be 100% accurate, but things I like about this plane, so why I love it so much, the dynamics that exist for the plane, I think it feels solid, and the sound back on this thing is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So I enjoy flying it. This is a great daytime plane. I haven't done many night flights with it, so I don't know if it's back to work or not. This is actually going to have much in the way of indicated lighting. But, like I said before, we do what we do. We are flying over Chesapeake Bay right now. Washington, D.C. is somewhere, I think, maybe 50 some odd nautical miles off to our off our 3 o'clock off our right wing. So somewhere over that way. Let's see. There we go. Mach 0.87. I think this bird is capable of Mach 0.89 maximum. And the surface ceiling on this thing is actually 4,000 feet. But I think for the purposes of tonight's flight level 380 is just fine. So let's go ahead and keep it there. I will bring up the co-field viewer, Charlie Victor India, and have it ready to go. But as it is a little while long, I'm not going to stress that too much. So again, tonight's flight is the Jacksonville International Airport, and we are going to see what the Cielosim Kilo Juliet Alpha X-ray scenery looks like. I've looked at it many times before on PCAviator.com, which is another website I go to for payware aircraft and scenery. I've been curious about it, but I've never flown to it, so hopefully it will not disappoint. I have a feeling it will actually be even nicer on my frame rate than leaving Philadelphia, because I think SunSkyJet KPHL really packs in the scenery objects, and that's a great thing. Hey guys, back from a break, and we are pretty close to Kansas right now. We are probably about 2 miles off the path, though, but no matter. Okay, tracking it fairly well. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to Redcofield at this point, because it's basically not going to matter. Let's go ahead and punch in, activate, and let's see, GPS switch didn't quite work. There we go, that's better. .48 nautical miles to Cofield. And at that point, we would basically be a little bit less than halfway to Jacksonville. It's kind of impressive just how quickly this thing gets from point to point B. We are at 415 knots ground speed, which means they're definitely fighting headwinds right now. Hopefully my sim does not crash. And excellent. Give me just a moment to check out something. The salty iron pit. Okay. Got it. The losses, I think, are caused by a weather engine, but they are worth it. I'm using something called FSXWX, which is a weather engine, because apparently when you request real-time weather updates using the FSXTeam edition standard real-time weather Jefferson updates, they're not what I thought they were. They basically, I'm not sure if they're a template, I'm not sure if they're just kind of like the basic building blocks for weather, but no, like, that's it's not weather. Sorry for the noise there, folks. Okay. Where are we? About 34 nautical miles. We are definitely past the Chesapeake Bay. Past, Port Beach, I think. And Williamsburg. Richmond is somewhere in this, like, lower quadrant of Virginia. Probably about maybe 30 or 40 nautical miles inland. They're trucking along to Cofield. After Cofield, we'll go direct Weaver and then direct Kingston. I thought that was Kingston, but that's actually Jamaica. So, let's see. That would probably be a bug with the engine. I thought that by setting the flight path, it would help to keep the updates fresh. But again, I'm not like worried. Suit down there might just be the Christmassy weather. But yeah, the previous way I did it by just using the default rendering engine and FSX for weather events through deficit updates, it didn't make the clouds as realistic as they could have been, even with texture direct and soft clouds installed. So even with the 99 knot wind issue, I still think this is a favorable thing for me. Maybe it's because I get up to the 38s or 40s or 41s and the system has difficulty not calculating it. Maybe it's just because I have a tablet and there's just, some limitation of how many calculations you can make by looking on scenery, but I'll take what I can get, even if it means waiting for the textures to load. Not tell where I came from. There are like barely any holes. Oh, there's one. But I can't tell where. not seeing things.
versatile flight simulation, but the add-ons that I've installed and the scenery complexity that I like to rock with the i7 processor inside this particular Surface Pro 3, Dreamliner runs out pretty quickly, so textures have to load and reload. To actually install parts from my computers at will. I think once I started using laptops, for some reason the convenience of laptops and tablets made me forget about how I was like installing and removing parts from the computers I used. I might actually get back to that. I think it's because being able to swap parts in and out of computers is something that I enjoy doing. So I might want to get back to that at some point. Okay, we're headed direct to Weaver and we'll be Kinston afterwards. India Sierra Oscar for the VOR. Until recently, I liked flying business jets more, but for some reason, I just took a look at this 787 and just wanted to buy the real heavy iron, and it's great. It's great. Even though it's got like a default cockpit, even though it's conducive more to the default flight simulator experience than certainly not on the same level as anything from PMDG, but that's for people with deeper wallets than mine. And more power to them. Like, you know, if you wanna spend the money on the actual stuff, then do what you gotta do with it. I'll be happy for you. Not that far away from Weaver now. Set up for Kinston. There we go. Let's activate. The stream has been going on for a little over an hour.
I continue to see clouds. Let's see. Can we get a forecast for Jacksonville? Weather. Let's see. We might actually be landing in the rain down there. Temperature, the actual temperature right now down in Jacksonville is 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which, all things considered, ain't that bad. Actually, it's pretty good. But we're pilots, so let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so winds are 160 at 10 knots. Southern Hemisphere pointing runways are runway 26 and 1614. Yeah, but runway 14 is like a 7,700 foot runway, and 26 is like a 10,000 footer, and I think I'm going to just play into the crosswind calculations and still go to runway 26 to land, and just make sure I set up nice and early the approach, because I feel like landing on a bigger runway. Let's take a moment to check what the FS cloud is like. Still waiting for the sim to catch up. There we go. Okay. That 1 nautical miles to Kingston. Jacksonville. We've got a Cielosim scenery that we're going to test out. Just purchased it tonight, and hopefully it'll be a nice cap to the evening's festivities. We've got a little over 190 nautical miles to Charleston, so this leg is going to be a little while. After Charleston, go to Basel, and Basel will be the first waypoint in the Hotar 1 arrival. So, considering how transition altitude for Basel is going to be flight level 180, I'm probably going to want to be at flight level 240 or 220 when I get to Charleston, which means I'm going to have to start timing my descent, and I get the feeling somewhere in the next, I think, 30 nautical miles or 50 nautical miles, I might do that. Or if I have a good way of being able to descend without going nuts, I'll probably wait till I'm 100 nautical miles out from Charleston to begin descent. I don't want to prematurely descend, and I don't want to come in hot. Like I said, that's where the me not being a pro yet kicks in. Absolutely ripping it up. 409 knot ground speed, 179 nautical miles to go, and I am actually making out land and ocean. Where there's a lot of frost in the windows. So let's take a moment to hop out and see what we see. My wife, Mrs. DigiDriver, is doing like circular fill-in patterns, spiral fill-in patterns, as a kind of not puzzle, but like drawing thing. Just super down. How far along are we? 169 miles to go to Charleston. 68. So once we cross Charleston, stuff's going to happen really quickly, and I mean really quickly, because when we get to Charleston, Basel will probably be another 15, 20 nautical miles out, and then Waitak, Jabor, and Hotar, and then we're going to go into land. And basically, I think I might want to be at like 6 or something, some odd thousand feet when I actually get to Otar, which is just off the coast, just south of Georgia and just east of Jacksonville. But I think I just found my ideal decision point for descent. I'm probably going to start descending once I cross into Jacksonville airspace. Because from Charleston to Jacksonville is basically like the last leg or the last like fourth of the trip. That's probably going to come in really quickly, because we are officially, I think, just over halfway at this point. So should be ready, getting ready to go. But I just realized I have a passenger plane full of people that have been itching to get up out of their seats for a while. Does anybody else have difficulty with heat in their home? If you live anywhere north of, like, say, like Georgia or like South Carolina, for some reason our townhome seems to hold on to heat really well. So I don't know about you, but at night I like to sleep. So my wife and I will typically like crack open like our window just to make sure we get a nice little breeze going. Because otherwise, like, I don't know if I sleep well or not. But let's have some fun with this. People have been very patient with me. Let's let people unfasten their seatbelts, shall we? There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, indicating that it is safe to move about the cabin. For your own safety, though, we request that you keep your seatbelt fastened when you're in your seat during this short flight. We'll start our in-flight beverage service shortly.
Suffice it to say, I should have done that a long time ago. Hopefully you guys heard that in-flight message. That's actually a carryover from the FSX missions for, I think, the Rome to Naples flight. If you have FSX Steam Edition or have the boxed version of Flight Simulator X and you have the acceleration pack, then that's probably one of the missions that you have that takes you from Rome to Naples. I think it's to Naples or Rome to Athens. Pretty sure it's Rome to Naples. And I think they have you fly Orbx Airlines, because I don't think your plane is like pure white. Let's see. Are we in Jacksonville airspace yet? Not yet. So a little bit less, and maybe 20 miles to go before we start planning our descent. taking some time to recognize if you are in a position to help. There are more than a handful of charities out there that would appreciate your donation and support tonight. One particular charity that I'm following and that my wife is following is a program called Dance December, which is a opportunity for you to support a great cause, which is Save the Children, and the charity is benefiting children in the Philippines, and it's a big thing going on right now. I think the hashtag literally is Dancember, DANCECEMBER, or just DANCEMBER. I think it's Dancember. So feel free to take a look at that, and I believe it's Judy's Life on YouTube. That family actually is one of the people that actually drives the Dancember project. It's a yearly outreach, and they have a great time, and they raise money to take care of those of us that are less privileged and the children. So feel free to check that out. But I mean, sheesh, November was a pretty good year, a pretty good month for charity work as well. I don't know if you guys were around when World Flight was doing its charity flights to raise money for organizations like Campaign Against Living Miserably in England, where unfortunately suicide is a major killer of adult males, I believe under the age of 45, and they did that, and other charity flight teams supported other charities as well. And it's, in my opinion, definitely something which it's something that we can do. We can stretch our hands out to people around us to help benefit them and help them get on their feet and things like that. So I feel like that's something that we can benefit from. So the impact I don't think ever comes back by it. I think eventually maybe we'll see something as a result of it, but if for nothing else, go check out Dancember online. I believe the hashtag is DANCEMBER for Dancember to raise money for Save the Children. At this point, we have officially crossed over into Jacksonville airspace, and we are just over 100 nautical miles before we get to Charleston. So, given the fact that we're going as fast as we are, I may want to start planning the descent at this point. Let's take it really, really, really slow, and set the descent for flight level 180, but let me see if I can time it so that we're at 240, close to it. So we've begun the descent. Let's kick the throttle back. Throttling back, this is a good thing. Thank you, of course, to everybody watching the stream. I am flying from Philadelphia to Jacksonville on FS Cloud. I am not on VATSIM tonight, and I'm flying down there to see how the scenery for Jacksonville looks like from Cielosim. So, Cielosim is Cielosim. I just got their Jacksonville International Airport scenery through PCAviator.com tonight. And on our way down to see whether or not it is going to be worth the money that we paid for it. And by the way, they do have December sales going on right now, so I got the scenery, I think, something like maybe 30% off. Maybe in your interest to check it out, especially since they have sales on Caronado planes and some other stuff as well. But with that being said, we are on our way down Charleston. Getting down there pretty quickly. Yeah, speed-wise, maybe not vertical speed-wise, but let's dial in a bit more descent rate. Jacksonville. Winds are now on the 808. So that may change my plans slightly. Let's take a look at procedures. with some discipline. So I am not concerned. Still not that concerned right now. Getting down there. 54 nautical miles to Charleston. Okay, doing a job. Let's lay off the descent rate. I would imagine at this point the flight attendants are getting ready to go to the cabin to put their things. Yeah, that's right. Let's go ahead and set the approach for runway 26. So zero B. And headings 7. Okay. That's set. And a big thank you again to anyone who's actually still watching on the replay. We are flying from Philadelphia to Jacksonville today. The American Airlines Boeing 787-900. This is flight 652 from Philadelphia with service to Jacksonville. We are in the descent phase and we are going to be slightly higher than where I was planning to be. Charleston via Orb, that's okay. As long as we can get down to transition altitude for the next waypoint, which is Basel, for the hotel room arrival, we should be okay. I think we should be fine. Let's put a little bit of pepper into the descent gate. Weather engine to spool. Doesn't crash anything. There we go. Even if it did, though, be, I think, in a favorable spot because I use FSUIPC to autosave my progress. If you use FSX or P3D in any capacity, probably owe it to yourself to register FSUIPC because the things that you can do with it are fantastic. Like, I have literally taken joysticks and mapped many commands to them. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm able to flight simming as much as I do. somewhere warm. Hopefully you have a great time. Hopefully you have a nice time. Refreshing. Getting back into a better frame of mind. To where we want to be. I sure hope that people have been able to hear me all this time and haven't been cutting in and out. But hopefully that will become more apparent as I continue to do these things. Tonight's stream just didn't happen because I just felt like, I don't want to be like trying to land in Jacksonville at like 2 in the time. But my wife encouraged me and said, hey, go ahead and do it. So, this stream brought to you by my wife. This is DigiDriver. duck beneath them. sim does not crash on me. last checked, Jacksonville weather did not look very dry. And that looks like it's still the case. Process clouds as we get ready to land. Just past Tibby. I'm getting down there. Let's get down to 00. Okay, and since it's flight sim, and since I don't want to forget to do this later, look at the landing lights configured now. Alright. It's there. Let's go back to Hotar. The other way as we go. Okay, as we drop speed and get ready to get down to set speed. So let's take a look at the airport diagram. Okay, if we land from 26, so we're shooting for now at least, we are going to most likely go at least up until hotel, maybe Juliet. So I'm gonna plan on Juliet, which means like two taxiway options first, Juliet, which is the 6th. Once I start seeing taxiways really open up on those, and then Juliet or Victor to parking area. Take the first available what we can. Okay, not that far from J-Board. Tell you what, let's finish the rest of this. Let's get down to 6,000. How about some flap? Probably not the wisest thing to do at 9,000 feet, but it's okay. Meanwhile, it is still a soupy mess. Looks like it's raining. Don't know if we'll catch any thunderstorms or just light rain, but it does look wet out there. 7 nautical miles. Tigray is punched up. seems a bit strange. Says I'm way off the let's pull up ILS 4826. Let's go flaps 25. Is 257. FSDreamTeam. At this point. But no shame in this.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
but that's fine. Either line.
Sync rate.
Okay, 10,000. Run.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
There we go, we're down. Pushes are up. Welcome to Jacksonville. And 60 knots. Don't know if the cockpit, if it's something else that prevented me from really seeing clearly. It looked like it was way darker than it was. Landing rate probably meant that I landed like 300 something feet per minute, which is certainly feasible. It's not far off the taxiway now. At all. All right, there's the truck. service. Frankly, no shame for me external view. I don't know what key it is to activate the wipers inside of this 787 model. And why has he stopped? I'm not sure. Go. Okay, there, gate. I don't know. See, guide me. See, dude. It's load inside. There we go. He's under the gate. I see you. Operation is requested. Exit 1 to open.
You too.
Now the jet wouldn't come all the way over to. I'm gonna blame that on the model, as opposed to the problem with the scenery itself. We're gonna try with a default plane or two, with the default 737 and the default CRJ, and see if there is any issue. Other than that, that's fantastic. We're on the ground.
wonderful flight.
Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. Have a day. You too.
So we got 161 passengers from Philadelphia to Jacksonville. And oh, look at that. Jetway operates as well. I guess I should put in the Jetway beforehand. But all the same, I'm glad that even though he got taken out of order, the Jetway Act does move. Yeah, we're here. And set up. And have the maintenance crew come take care of business. But before we go for the night, this is the Cielosim Jacksonville, Florida. I keep wanting to say Jackson Hole, Wyoming, basically Jacksonville scenery. I haven't been to the Jacksonville terminal. I haven't been to Jacksonville directly to Orlando. Based on what I can see, scenery looks pretty good. So I'm gonna give this one an A. Absolute A. Just the weather on final kind of made the approach even, especially because I did not want to mess it up on the stream, and we pulled it out. So I'm glad you guys came along, and I'm glad I actually did this. I may have to do these streams at least maybe 2 more this month and see where we go there. I thoroughly enjoyed this beauty of an airplane, and this flight, I don't know, to someplace like Dallas, Fort, even further like Jacksonville to Phoenix, but that's for another time, I guess. Meantime, I'm gonna sign off. This has been DigiDriver. Really appreciate those that came out to watch tonight's flight from Philadelphia to Jacksonville, Florida, from SunSkyJet scenery to Cielosim's Jacksonville scenery. And we really hope you guys had a great time. Take care. And if I don't see you again in your travels, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. Take care. Really appreciate you stopping by.